This is Mario from Super Mario. Red hat, blue overalls. Yep, that's him. This is Freddy Fazbear from Five Nights at Freddy's. Yeah, that's him. And this is Wallace and Gromit from Wallace and Gromit. And yeah, that's Wallace and Gromit. But these are not them. This is not Mario. This is not Freddy Fazbear. This is not Wallace or Gromit. These are crude, grotesque, verminous, loathsome imposters wearing the skin of the characters I just named. Alien creations trying their hardest to convince you they are, but shambling and melting into visual abominations, making it now too clear they are not. If you were to show these videos to someone 10 years ago, they'd likely guess them to be the work of one of two things. 1, a tab of LSD, or 2, the devil. The last thing someone of the past would guess these to be is the intentional and consciously crafted work of human artists or any form of deliberate process. And they'd be right. And wrong. These things are messes, sinister, perverse mockeries of reality, but they were kind of made by humans, or at least humanity's dangerous new toy. These are all generated by AI. It's called Luma, or the Dream Machine. An AI platform you can access online that generates video from user-provided instructions. The site gives you the option to type some text or add an image. Luma will then take your image or prompt, absorb it, feed it through its own unknowable Lovecraftian inner workings, a process Luma refers to as dreaming, before spitting out a 5-second video clip, describing itself as, and I quote, a highly scalable and efficient transformer, making it capable of generating physically accurate, consistent, and eventful shots. Dream Machine is our first step towards building a universal imagination engine. We will see through the course of today's video how terms like accurate and consistent often do not belong in the same universe as the supposed dream machine. My very first time with Luma, I offered to it this image. Some sly, crafty looking rat character, and typed out the basic prompt, mouse. Very simple. This is what I received. Other than the way Luma articulated its whiskers, which genuinely makes my skin crawl, and the fact its hands seem to have developed a mouth parasite style, this wasn't anything too crazy. I mean, yeah, this is a mouse. I then tried a solely text prompt. Mario battling Thanos. This should be fun, I thought. And, well, yeah, I guess this is Mario battling Thanos. Mario is pretty on point here. The environment is all 100% Mushroom Kingdom, but Thanos slowly morphs into some weird grape goblin, like third genetically malfunctioning Mario brother. I asked Luma to extend the video with the prompt, the fight gets more intense, and I got this. So yeah, Thanos, everyone. And this is what I got for Thanos battling Mario. Just swapping around their names seems to have painted Mario as the antagonist here. Luma has some syntactic understanding, it seems. By putting in the names of some well-known pop culture icons like Sonic, Leonardo DiCaprio, or Batman, it's clear this artificial brain, so to speak, has a serviceable awareness of human culture and fiction, but just has difficulties portraying it believably. I think this is because it gets the general idea, but past that it has no direction for continuing on it. For example, I entered Homer Simpson. Okay, from whatever visual database it has, I can tell it interprets the name Homer Simpson as yellow skin, large cartoonish eyes, brown stubble, round human shape, white shirt, blue trousers, and so on. Luma has the dimensions and look of Homer down to a T, but once it has constructed itself a Homer, it still has 119 more frames of video to generate, and it has no idea what to do with him, which is why the ensuing video is this bizarre unraveling and disembowelment of what the machine interprets a Homer Simpson to be. Entering Garfield gave me this, entering Garfield a second time gave me this, and entering it a third gave this. Dreams are never the same thing twice, but Luma clearly has its own preconceived notions on what a Garfield is. Text prompts like these, with exceptions, don't really give me the nightmare feel though. Even if you try to bait a weird video by entering something intentionally creepy like these examples I made, you get something too polished and plastic and a touch too well executed to actually be disturbing to any degree. But then again, Luma was designed to be as professional and appealing looking as possible. I mean, of course it was. The AI is kind of marketed around being able to generate pseudo-cinematic shots like these. This stuff is kind of its whole thing, encouraging you to give it very detailed prompts so it doesn't have to do as much of the imagining itself, I guess. I think a lack of instruction or direction is what leads to the confused wandering it tends to do. I tried one of Luma's own prompt ideas, of which it provides a handful of to you under the input bar. Low angle shot of a majestic tiger prowling through a snowy landscape, leaving paw prints on the white blanket. I was expecting something truly cutting edge, considering this is literally Luma telling me the exact kind of prompt it was engineered to create from. The result? Of course, I added these sounds for effect, but this is the terrifying clarity AI can be capable of. Oh, and little side note here, I saw this horrifying video on Instagram while editing this video, and oh man, man-made horrors beyond my comprehension. What in the dream machine is that? This tiger isn't just spectacle, it's a walking, moving, dare I say breathing glimpse into the future of AI media. Once the dream machine has ironed out some of its creases, distinguishing this from reality could become worryingly tough. But that's a different kind of nightmare fuel for a different kind of video. Where Luma unknowingly becomes a nightmare machine is in its mincing and butchery of visuals, not its clean execution of detailed prompts. This is how Luma becomes the AI nightmare machine, through not knowing what the fuck it's even trying to do. I'll start with something very simple, that the dream machine could do pretty much anything with. This smiley face. We'll now see how Luma struggles to navigate its way around making sense of such open-ended prompts. Just a still image. No text, no direction, and no suggestion of how to visually narrate the 5-second clip. Here are my 3 results. Luma seemed to think making the face inflate and develop a second mouth made the most sense. I wouldn't call this nightmarish, at most a bit strange. Here's a few more complex images. The Gargantua started genuinely tweaking. The Hello Kitty statue melted into this chrome amorphous sludge thing, and this peanut one intrigued me, so I extended it. The smiling peanut had transformed into some sort of alien monument. What about a Twitter post? Oh, well, not sure what I was expecting. Okay, I want something nightmarish now. Let's see what this PNG of Elmo can do. How about this Donkey Kong 64 render? Oh almost, or this picture of Pikachu from Poker Park Wii. What the... Okay. Kermit the Frog. Oh. That works. It's this sort of erratic, unpredictable movement, the mutation of characters and the gross, malformed textures that make this stuff feel so alien and uncanny. We all know people, animals and things in general don't move like this. Stuff doesn't sporadically twitch and jolt like this, which is why it's so nightmarish to watch as Luma stretches and deforms the familiar into the unrecognizable. I sometimes doubt Luma's claim to understand how people, animals and objects interact with the physical world. I seriously sometimes doubt that claim. It also doesn't seem to have a very solid sense of self, as simply entering its own name, Luma, resulted in it clearly mistaking that for lunar instead. Unless Luma has some ancient eldritch connection to the moon that I'm not aware of. I sincerely hope it does not. I began this video with instances of Super Mario and Five Nights at Freddy's dreams, because that's how I came across this, as you may have if you've seen Luma before. Short compilations like Super Mario 64 in a Dream Machine and FNAF AI generated images got decent traction a couple months back. I tried it with this screenshot from Mario Galaxy 2 and...
Foul tarnished.
But why Wallace and Gromit? They're made out of clay. I wanted to see if art forms with mediums that already lend themselves to morphing and shapeshifting would be interpreted any looser or more melty by the machine. I don't think there's much to say about it though, and I don't think that was a great excuse for just shoehorning my favourite animation form into the video. Anyway, Luma also offers you the chance to give it 2 separate images as one prompt. The video you receive will be a quote-unquote transition between the 2 images, with the first and final frames being said pictures, and the video between often a confusing, mutilated molten sludge of colours and dismembered elements, before reassembling, like I said, into your second given image. For example, start, end, middle. I think a lot of the nightmare fuel can be attributed to this transitional space, as the Dream Machine struggles and grapples with point A and point B, and just barely wrangles out to you a perceivable visual transition. Of course, sometimes they make sense, look about fine, sometimes they're just meh, sometimes they are haunting to look at. But if you want to talk about a total lack of direction, the internet had a small obsession with that a few months back. Quite a large obsession, actually. It seems oddly perfect for liminal space imagery, the backrooms, pool rooms, dreamcore locations, an aesthetic founded entirely on PNG still images that evoke strange feelings, to be introduced to Luma. There is zero direction in these images, next to nothing for a program to base movement and video off of. Other than expanding on the environments, I wasn't sure what to expect from the Dream Machine when digesting these types of images, but it mostly did just alter or develop the environments. So yeah, unfortunately guys, Luma didn't just drop a new lore expansion for Backrooms floor 420,000 for the Backrooms wiki, yeah. Trust me, I am just as disappointed as you guys. But wait, what if I give Luma a word that doesn't exist? My channel name, Lugalan. Here are all 3 of those, so yeah, hello. Face reveal, I guess. I also presented it these 2 images, more or less visual clusterfucks I didn't think Luma would be able to understand, just to see how the program would try to interpret them. The answer is seemingly to overhaul the images with even more unintelligible noise and just materialize random kaleidoscopic colour vomit. I spent 48 Great British pounds to gain an additional 240 video generations from Luma to make this video, and as those generations were running out, I wanted to finish off with an image infamous for being completely and utterly indecipherable. This image that has done the rounds on the internet for years now, almost always accompanied with a line like, "You can't identify anything in this image." This is my final offering to the Dream Machine. What would it think of it? How would it digest it? What could Luma possibly create from an image no human can really understand? Nebulous cosmic gloss dissolving into the physical realm, unfathomable amorphous beings descending from above, psychedelic illegible impersonations of human understanding sprawled across a canvas. Just familiar enough for you to try to understand it, not believable enough for it to feel real. This is Luma, the AI nightmare machine, in one video. Welcome to the outro, my friends. This video is pretty different to my usual stuff, and I honestly probably could have done a lot more with this one, but this was just me trying to put out something quicker and shorter than usual. It needed to bounce back from the performance tragedy that was my last video's view count. I didn't really fancy sinking another 1,000 hours into an unclickable video. Also, I've been busy with college and whatnot, so I don't work on videos as consistently as in the summer, you know. I'm not an adult yet, so I am allowed excuses for wasting my time. This isn't really a sign of any change on this channel. I still want to make the long, multi-month long production cycle videos like my last 3 uploads. They just take so goddamn long to make. Even though I love them and I do enjoy them, they literally take like 4 months, 3 months a piece, so I just may drop some filler vids in between them every now and again, like this one. Honestly, I don't even remember why I made a video on Luma. I just had the thought many months ago and it kept bugging me, so I had to do this. I have some pretty gargantuan videos planned for the channel throughout the next year or so. No promises on when they'll be put up though. Thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next one.